Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. This is your friend Abhishek, but not a financial advisor. And without wasting your time and my time, let's just dive right into what is happening with the market. The market is dipping and the investors seem to be panicking over the tariffs. And people in Europe are actually thinking, like many investors in Europe, so I'm from Europe, and people are thinking that it might not affect Europe, but actually they are kind of wrong, because there are many industries, European companies, European automotive companies who do have factories in Mexico. So let's first discuss what is happening with the tariffs. Today there is some big update which might come. So Lutnick said that Trump might set some relief in the tariffs for Mexico and Canada. So let's see what's going to happen. So Trump's 25% tariff across the board on the US neighbors was applied on Tuesday. So yes, he did pull the trigger, and that affected the market a lot. And Canada, of course, retaliated with a package of tariffs on 107 billion of US products immediately. This was supposed to happen. So there is no other way China, Mexico, and Canada can, retaliate. This is the only way. They could also do on the US products. But the problem is that who is going to suffer? The consumers. After all, the consumers are going to suffer. Of course, the industries as well, because these tariffs will affect their profit margins. And we will see that in the coming earnings and quarters, how they are going to affect, not immediately, but this will come sooner or later. And to prevent those reduction in margins, the companies will increase prices. And when they increase prices, the consumers are the one who are going to get affected, because increase in prices will result in inflation. And due to inflation, if the consumer doesn't buy, that will, create recession. So this is always a cycle. Whenever there is an inflation, the only way to fight inflation is recession. And with the US economy right now, where they are still struggling to remove inflation completely, because US inflation is kind of sticky, and with whatever is happening, this is going to affect the US market. Now, should we get out of the US market completely? Let's get on to that in a moment. So Mexico president also said that they will also retaliate with some tariffs, and China already retaliated. So Trump's second move doubled the rate of tariffs on Chinese import of 20% from Tuesday. And Nvidia, on the other hand, was falling last week, because there are still some chips which are actually still in the black market has moved to China. So whatever you do with tariffs, you're ultimately affecting the US consumers, to be honest, and those big industries. So today, let's see what happens. Trump gives some relief to the stock market. But now let's discuss about the stock market in general. Stock market for beginners, because there are many beginners as investors in the stock market, and they might be feeling that, okay, this is another crash. This is not a crash. So S&P 500, if we see S&P 500, so S&P 500 came down to 5,700, and in 1 month it's down by 4%, and in 6 months it's still up by 5%. And if you see year to date, we are down by -1%, but in 1 year we are still up by 14%. A crash would be if we are crashing to 5% or 6% from here, then I would consider that as a crash. But this is just normal correction, because S&P 500 was just moving up and up. So from 2022, we had a really big inflation in the S&P 500. So it had to correct itself. This is normal, guys. This must have happened. And this, in my opinion, is kind of healthy. But we can still see that some stocks like Palantir is going up again. So Palantir is up by 3%, and P ratio is sitting at 458. Anyway, so the purpose of this video is to tell you guys that the market will fluctuate. And should you get out of the US market altogether? In my opinion, no, guys. This is not a financial advice. Of course, you could do whatever you would like to do. And in our Patreons group, we are just averaging down. Yes, we are just averaging down, dollar cost averaging down the businesses which we really believe in. And why? Well, this is one example. So in 2022, Meta fell by 77% from 2021 highs. Tesla fell by 72%, Amazon fell by 54%, Google fell by 44%. Fast forward to 2025, Meta is up by 684% from 2022 lows. Tesla is up by 252%, Amazon 178%, Google 120%, Apple is up by 82% from its 2022 lows. So this is what market does. If you were a beginner as an investor and you started your investment journey in 2024, I would say that would have been a really good year for you guys. And you must be thinking, oh my God, if the stock market moves like this, I'm gonna put every cent of my salary into it. But this is not how the financial asset market works. Like, this kind of fluctuation is healthy. This retaliation is healthy, because when you get a good business at a cheaper price, this is what you must look for. You must look for such corrections in the market, because then you are getting better businesses, the best businesses at cheaper prices. So this is what this video is all about, guys, that this noise what we are getting due to tariffs, yes, is going to affect few businesses, and we will see those effects in the coming years by max. But let's see what happens today, and I will make an updated video. But we are still buying stocks. So just to let you know what stocks we are buying in our Patreons: Elf Beauty, Uber Technologies, we are buying AMD, we averaged down Amazon and Alphabet. I do believe that these are two of the stocks which could double from here easily. Then Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway is one of the most resilient stocks, and if you see the performance of Berkshire, so in last 5 days it's down by 0.5%, almost flat. In 1 month up by 4.8%, in 6 months up by 6.8%, year to date up by almost 10%, and in a 1 year performance up by 24%. Berkshire Hathaway is one of the companies, until unless it's not ruined by someone else, this is an amazing pick, and this is what we are still buying. So in such circumstances, when you are so uncertain and uncertainty hits the market quite badly, then such resilient, all-weather portfolio with such companies, with such stocks who are managed by none other than Warren Buffett, people like them, this is what makes your portfolio to flourish during such times. So this is what we are buying. We are still buying as hims and hers. Then Microtechnology, I do think that it's a steal below $100. And new holdings, because now it's below $11. PayPal, yes, we are still buying PayPal, and some of the stocks like Visa and SoFi as well. So SoFi is one of the companies which I'm really bullish on for long term. And those are some of the picks which we are focusing on. So like I said, guys, this market fluctuation will stay. And what I learned from my past mistake, which was Cassava Sciences, which I know many of the people out there were watching my channel just for Cassava Sciences, and I'm sorry about that, but this was a mistake which I learned, and I put a lot of money in Cassava Sciences. I was quite bullish. I did a lot of research. It's not like blind gambling. It was a gamble, to be honest. Yes, I do agree with that, but it was not a blind one. I was focusing on whatever was presented to us, and somehow made the wrong decision. So I learned from that in such times especially, my portfolio should be, yes, focused on more diversification. I was diversifying, and my portfolio right now is doing quite okay. So as you can see, I am up by 64%. Of course, my portfolio is down by another 20%, but I'm still up by 64% on my all-time returns. So that is something which I wanted to show you guys and tell you guys that yes, everyone does mistakes, but my portfolio is still doing good, and we are still investing into US market. I don't think that getting out of the US market is a solution. Don't be afraid, guys. Such fluctuations are healthy in the market, and let's see how tariffs will affect the companies, and who knows, that it might not stay for long. So that's it, guys. That's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and ciao.